How it feel to be a dad? How it feel to be a man? You provide by any means, and we sticking to the plan. Yeah, I do this for my seed. Come and listen, come and see. Remember, it was just me. Now it's all about me. Lead by example. This for my child. I swear that I got you for life. Went from the court to talking about buckets. Now we talking Pampers and wipes. I really love this though. Look at you and get inspired. You the fuel to my fire. Come here, let me change your diaper. Diaper dash.
Diaper Dad fam, what is good? We're back again, baby. We are in the flesh. Diaper Dad podcast is coming to you brand and new. What's good, Boog?
What's good, baby? Everything good over here, you know? Living the best life I can. Trying to make the
How's the week been, man?
Bro, everything's going good, bro. I'm gonna be on road all November. So I'm
I'm
going to Rhode Island.
Okay.
Me and wifey going to Rhode Island. I'm going to New York for the weekend by myself to go see my sister.
Wifey she wasn't with it.
She was with it. It's
okay.
Just that there's a bunch of variables playing around. So
gotcha. Okay.
So she was like, anytime she says, "Well, you can go," I don't talk about it no more. I just
okay. All right. Are you sure?
Oh yeah, I paid it. I bought the ticket already. I'm out of here. And then we're coming back home for the week for Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. So be on road, man. You be on road.
First tour in 2 years, bro. I ain't been outside like this in 2 years, dog. It's crazy. It's the craziest feeling ever, bro.
It's gonna be cold.
Sorry, though. I'll be all right. Shit. But everything been good, though. How's everything been going with you?
Everything's good, man. Everything is good. Usually I do not listen to the podcast. I cannot listen to them. Like, that's just something I cannot do. I was talking to Chase about that. He was like, "Yeah, you on your Denzel shit?" And he was like, "Yo, you Denzel Washington or some shit?" And I took a listen to it, and I realized that my voice, I just have too many pauses in it. And I need to just continue to talk, more clear, more proper and stuff like that. So I was just like, man, it sounds crazy when I'm listening to it because I'm like, yo, I sound way better than that. But then when I'm doing it in person, I do tend to stop and, do stuff like how I'm doing right now. But it was a good listen. Got to bounce back, got to be better. So all the listeners out there in y'all car, man, I'm going to get better, man. Now, y'all got to give me that feedback. Bro. I needed that.
Bro, playback. I always do playback. I watch every episode, bro. I watch in seconds. I don't watch the full, 45 to an hour, but I'll watch maybe 10 minutes here, 10 minutes in the middle, 10 minutes at the end. Hey, bro. You're your worst critic.
Yeah. So another thing also, too, is I was, for the first time, too, I listened to one of the podcasts that I always watch. I listened to it in the car for like the first time ever. And I was listening to one of the young ladies the Horrible Decision podcast. Shout out to them. You guys really are my favorite podcast. I'm actually going to see them. Me and wifey going to see them next month. They come into DC, so I'm about to go see them. But I was just listening to her voice. I'm like, damn, her voice sounds so good, yo. Like they just sound proper. And then I also listen to Nice and Neat. Shout out to those guys. I was listening to those guys and I was like, dang, like their voice sounds, crispy, clean, just like smooth, no pauses, no nothing. So I was like, yo, I really just got to get on my shit and get right.
Yeah, no, for sure, bro. I'm telling you, dog, it took me a while. Once I started listening to myself, like the first season, I was like, dog, you sound mad nervous. Like, it's just you. Like, you really don't, there's no audience in front of you. It's just you. So, and then they just have a conversation with you, bro. And everything be good. So, we're going to clean it up. We're going to start off with this spicy topic today. Now, there's a lot of controversy. And it could be a lot of mixed emotions with this one. But you posed a question to me earlier this week, and what it said was, is no dad better than an inconsistent dad.
Yo, and when I saw that, you know, one of the first things I do is I just look at the comments just to see where people's head is at. You know what I mean? Just to see what, you know, some people are saying. And I saw some people were kind of agreeing with what I was saying. Like one person was like, yo, listen, no matter how inconsistent someone is, you know, no matter how much they don't show this, that, and the third, like having a no dad is the worst thing ever. And look, yo, and this is great because I know you probably gonna have something different, so it's perfect. But I just wanted to hit that on now, just like say I was reading through the comments. Some people were agreeing with me, some people were, you know, saying whatever. But go ahead, what's your take on this whole situation? Because
I'd rather you not be around.
really,
Yep. Leave me alone. Especially now. Maybe when I was younger, it was different. But now that I am 27 with kids, just leave me alone. Don't trip about me. I got this. You know what I mean? Because I'm not gonna
so
chase.
like, so hold on, let's back up though. Let's back up. Right? Like not even saying right now, because right now we're in a place in our life where we're very independent. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but even then, like I had to reevaluate like if I had to reevaluate the situation, and it doesn't do me no justice. Either way, even then.
because you were you in a similar situation like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you first hand on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So don't, like I said, if either you're gonna be here, you're not gonna be here. I'm not gonna chase you. And things didn't transpire until I got out to moved away. I think is when that really kind of like went down or whatever. It ain't no ill feelings. At the end of the day, hey, you still my pop, you still my grandfather, my kids. Cool, that's fine. But bro, don't pop in and out. Like if you want to be active, be active. Don't just call me here, call me there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I said, I'm not going to chase you. I shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. No one should ever have to chase their parents.
Nah, facts.
You know what I mean? At some point, you gotta draw that line where it's like, yo, I'm done chasing you. If you're gonna be there, you're gonna be there. If not, cool. I made it this far, and I'm doing very well. I ain't got nothing to worry about. But he's still my father.
So this is what I was saying. Let's cut out the whole like us being grown up, right? Like let's talk about it from a standpoint to where like we're Cassidy and Spo age, Nova Rose's age, right? Just in general, just kids in general. Is that and even we can even say middle school. You know, in high school, I feel like we get to a point where, you know, we think we know it all. We had an attitude, we get the maturity level. So I would say from like, you know, from 1 to the end of middle school, is that the same feeling you've had that you're saying now then?
No, there's a lot of variables that go into play though. You know what I'm saying?
So and that's I guess that's what we're gonna get into, because that's why I was like, don't even think about the whole situation to where like you kind of understand the situation. You're like, yo, you know what? I'm good. Like, you know, I'm just thinking about it from like, say for example, you could take yourself back. Like you could just like remove yourself from the situation you're in right now and just look into a glass.
Yeah.
Would it be okay for you to be like, you know what, yo, I think Bo and Cassidy, they'd be better if I wasn't here. Instead of being inconsistent, like, you know, just being on your shit.
And shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
There's a bunch of variables, bro. Like you gotta think. A child is only gonna have, and my parents got divorced at a young age, right? So my parents got divorced when I was in 4th grade, I want to say, somewhere around there. So that's only gonna sway. The only person that's really gonna sway a child's opinion is the parent that they live with. You know what I mean? Because like some parents do talk dirt on their child's father or whatever the situation may be. Some parents keep it clean. You know, my parents kept it clean. Unfortunately, you know what I mean. No one talked ill will about each other. They just kept it clean, at least from my ears. You know what I'm saying? So for those kids who don't never seen their dad, and you know what I mean, and all of a sudden he just popped up out of nowhere. You kind of caught off guard. I feel like you're like all put into the situation, and then on top of that, you don't know any different. If you're looking at it from a child standpoint, you don't know any different. You just know you just know it's been you and mommy. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of variables that play into it. It's really, then when they come around, and then now it's like they're inconsistent, and they're just popping up. Oh, hey, like say little homie, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we see it all the time. Sports figures, right? Some of them probably made it to high school, done just well with just mommy and me. And now all of a sudden I'm getting these accolades and my name's buzzing. And now all of a sudden, oh, hey son, how you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just mad weird, bro.
Yeah. So I think so let me get back into content, because like what I'm actually talking about it from like not even from a point to where like we can actually understand the situation. I'm just talking about it just as being like a father figure at a young age, right? So like forget the sports, forget, us understanding it or anything like that. Like I'm saying, like right now, like would you be okay with just saying like pulling yourself away from the situation and being like, yo, like it's cool for, you know what I mean? And that's
you're talking about it from a dad's standpoint then.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
okay. All right. I thought you were talking about
from a dad standpoint and from a child standpoint. Like even though you might be inconsistent, like it's still good for like Bo and Cassie to still see you time to time.
But you know how much shit that's gonna cause on your child. So
how though?
Bro, it toys with children, bro. It's just playing their emotions.
I can speak on this though. So my dad didn't move up here until I was in like 5th or 6th grade. Always go down to visit him in Jamaica, holidays, summers and stuff like that. But, from young all the way to 5th grade. So what grade is that? That's like, you like almost, 11, 12, almost 12.
Around there.
So for 11 years, I'm only seeing my father off and on holidays and stuff like that. And for me, it never really affected me. You know what I mean? Like, it never really put a point to where it's just like, or really I thought about it like, I ain't really got a dad. Like, I never looked at it like that. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying is you got to think, yeah, and you're blessed to be in that situation. Not too many situations is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of it is like if I feel that I'm being inconsistent, I would feel bad for playing my children like a fiddle. I feel like I'd be playing them like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just popping up here. Like inconsistent ain't just saying that you're not there. You're not there every day. Inconsistent is you see them one weekend and a month, 2 months go by, no one hears from you, then you pop up, then they see you, then that's inconsistent.
Yeah.
You've seen your kids on a regular schedule, like you were saying, like how when your dad moved up, like granted the circumstances and all that shit, like if he was states away, I don't know the whole situation, but obviously y'all got to a point where you can really be in the same, like you're in driving distance from each other. So he's seen you on holidays and he's seen you at important monumental moments.
Yo, this ain't driving distance, dog. This is Jamaica, yo. My pops living in Jamaica. We flying.
When did he move to Virginia? Did you say he moved to Virginia?
Oh, to Maryland. Nah, he moved to Maryland when I was in 5th grade. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The circumstances presented themselves. So I feel like when he moved to Maryland, when he was able to, it was a more of a fluent relationship, right? I would assume like you starting to see him on holidays. I'm talking inconsistent as you popping up here. I say, hey, what's going on? Hey, Ashley, I want to see the twins just this weekend. I'm, you know what I mean? Free. I hope you guys are free. And then all of a sudden you go ghost for, I don't know, like I said, a month, 2 months. Yeah. You know what I mean? Then you pop up again, like, oh, hey, just by the way, checking in. Like that is like the worst thing you could do to a child.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, because I feel like both parents play a part in this situation, right? Because it's kind of like the same thing we talked about, a kid wanting to do what he wants to do, or a kid thinking what they think. They only gonna think that or want that or know that off of the things that they learn, right? The things that
you're telling
experience.
but the question the way you're trying to push the narrative on this question, which is completely fine, is look at it from a father standpoint. So what I'm saying is, from a father standpoint, that is the worst thing you can do to a child, is toy with their emotions. Plain and simple. Now, if you want to look at it from a kid standpoint, kids not really gonna know any different, other than what the parent that they live with tells them, and you know what I mean, what they find out. But other than that, if you look at it from a father standpoint, that is the absolute worst thing you can do to a child, bro.
So you rather a father not show up though?
Bro, don't be around. If you're gonna be inconsistent, to me personally, if you're gonna be inconsistent, don't be around me.
No, but see, now you see when you talk like that, in your perspective, you're talking from a kid standpoint.
You just asked me.
From a father's standpoint though, like say for, like I said.
Yes. If I felt that I was playing my kids like a fiddle.
No, but this is the thing. You don't. So there's people out there that think they're playing the fiddle. Hold on. There's people out there that think they're playing the fiddle, and then there's people out there that they just don't have the capability to do it. Sometimes they're scared. Sometimes they just don't know. Just like just like we talk about fathers all the time, like getting into that role where they're just like, they start living with someone and now they got to take care of them. It's like, sometimes niggas is just, they not man enough to put on that pants and be like, yo, right, I can do this. And they fall back. They just like, yo.
So why not come around when you're ready and then be consistent?
Niggas be having stuff going on in their life, bro. Niggas ain't mentally, sometimes niggas ain't mentally right, yo.
If you're not ready for this lifestyle, bro, don't be a part of it. Don't try to play, because it's way deeper than.
But hold on. I know it's hard for you because you're always thinking about it from a child standpoint.
I'm not. I'm thinking about it from
How do you know it's hard on the kid if you're talking from a kid standpoint? Like, the father doesn't know that though. See,
okay. Even if he doesn't know that, dude, all I'm saying is this: if you're gonna be inconsistent from a father standpoint, do not come around until you're ready to be consistent. Point blank.
That I don't even think that's fair though, man.
How is that not fair?
It's my kid. It's my seed, yo. Like, say for example, like, yo, all right, I can't come around all the time, or I ain't right financially, or like I'm just not there mentally. But I do want to
that being financially ready and whatever else it could be has nothing to do with you loving your child.
Yo, but this is the thing. Just because a person is inconsistent doesn't mean they don't love someone. I'm being honest though. Yo, you could
be honest. I know you are. I can hear it in your
voice. But it's a true. It could be also a true fact too, because think about it. Say for example, I don't do certain things for Jasmine or this, that, and the third. That doesn't mean that I don't love her. So, that just means that I'm inconsistent in certain things.
So, and what do you do when you find yourself feeling inconsistent? Do you correct it, or do you just not do it ever again?
I can't. For me, obviously, I'm going to correct it if I'm being consistent, because I'm that type of person. But what I'm trying to say is, you can't just speak on a certain type of man, right? A man that's just bad, or a man that
speaking of a man that's just bad, because there's a lot of good men out there that are they dip their foot, either piss or get off the pot, bro.
You can't say that though, bro.
I can't. That's my feeling.
I know, and I'm trying to make you look at it
from a father standpoint.
So hold on. What about if a guy is on drugs though? You just go
like I said, if a guy is on drugs,
yeah,
and you want to be prevalent in your child's life, and you know that your habits are affecting what you want to do, go get yourself cleaned up, come back when you're ready. Plain and simple.
So he can't come around time to time just to be like, yo, I want to see my kid. It's his birthday. It's the holiday. I want to, here's a gift here, there.
Yeah, do that. But what I'm saying is don't pop up every once in a blue fucking moon is what I'm telling you. Like that is all I'm completely in agreement with you on that. You know what I mean? Show up if you want to show up for those holidays or those birthdays.
Yeah.
You consistent with doing that, do it. By all means, do so. What I'm saying is don't call or show up and then disappear for 4 months and then come back like, oh, like everything's gonna be good. Because at the end of the day, perception is everything.
And and what's the name? Like I said, I think it's a two-way street, right? Because yes, perception is everything. You know, the kid does not know what's actually going on.
So what is the mother? So in this situation, right? So let's just paint this picture clear.
Okay.
Say homie got has a kid with shorty, and let's just say he has bad habits, where there could be gambling, drugs, alcoholism, anything that could prohibit him from being a stand-up guy or a stand-up father, rather.
Yeah.
And he wants to get himself in, like he wants to be there for his child.
Correct.
What is the viewpoint that I'm saying is that if he's going to do those things, like he's better off showing up like on those birthdays, holidays, those major event days, or those like soccer games or shit like that. He's better off doing that than showing up once now saying, "Hey, I want to see you," to not hearing 6 months later or 4. You know what I mean? But let's just say 30 days or a month or some shit. It's like a month and a half, whatever. Okay. He randomly pops back up. So now if it's a two-way, how can it be a two-way street? Because now you're putting the perception onto the mother, right? So the perception on the mother is this dude's hit or miss, right? She's not going to, let's keep it real. She's not going to sit here and cover she's only going to cover you for so long, right? Until there's going to be one day she wants to say something. So.
But hold on. Once again, you're right. Continue. You're right. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Like she's gonna have this. If y'all are really on that level where she understands that you're trying to correct your bad habits and all that shit, and she's telling you like, yo, you can't just be you. If you want to at least if you want to be consistent, just be here for those days, right? Those major event days. And you, for some reason, keep dropping the ball. You keep just popping up, calling on a random ass Tuesday or calling on Sunday, or it's you just all out the way, out of whack, and trying to get back in the mix. She's only going to be able to say but so much for you to cover it up, right? So correct. At the end of the day, you have that in mind. So why not have that conversation where I'm like, listen, I know my habits is preventing me from being the father that I want to be.
Right.
I'm going to remove myself to take care of me. Like we always say, you can't take care of a child unless you take care of yourself. I'm going to take care of me and try my damnness to fix these habits I have in order to be in our child's life on a consistent basis, day in and day out, whether we're together or not.
Okay. I hear you.
I'd rather you do that than sit here and say, I just, something came up and I just needed to do this. And there's nothing ever is more important than your child. So that's just my take on it. I respect you more for saying, let me step away and come back versus you just keep playing this game where you just popping up here, popping up there, popping up here, popping up there.
Okay. I hear you on that.
So what you saying?
The way I look at it is, taking that time away, to get yourself right is totally right. But I just think, any long-term or long haul, presence from a kid, I just think it's not good. that's what I believe. You know what I mean? So that's why I said, just in general, like, even if a nigga's popping up once a month, once every week, or once every 2 weeks, yo, he popping up. Is it good? Nah, never. I never said it's good, but hey, man, at least, kids seeing his face, or he's getting to see the kid's face, this, that, and the third. And, sometimes they might form that relationship. Is that relationship good? Is it going to be solid? Nah, it could go either way. It could be solid, or it could go there, depending on how the parent portrays it, or how they do it, or this, that, and the third. That's my whole take on it. I think it's all about how people portray it and how it's looked at, right? Because we all know this, women, they can make your life a misery. They really can, right? Not every woman is great. Not every woman is great. But I'll give you another perspective. Yeah, this dude's on bad habits, this, that, and the third. She knows that, right? But she's keep putting that pressure on him to be better, which is the correct way, hey, you got a kid, you got to step up. But sometimes women can make it worse. You know what I mean?
And that's the situation that we're talking about is the situation we're talking about, as far as like a dad stepping away to take care of himself.
Hold on. You gave me a situation. I'm just gonna give it, because it's all about different situations.
Oh yeah, but my next statement was going to be that there's a lot of situations. What you're getting ready to hit on, there's a lot of situations. There's more than few situations out there that are wicked.
Yeah. So like I was saying before, like, a dude could be, on his A game, this, that, and the third. Boom, he get hit with child support, right? We ain't even talk about that, right? So that's why I'm really trying to look at it at, like, from like a different perspective. Nigga get hit with a child support. All right, I got bad habits. Why you hit me with that, right? Now you change the whole dynamic of the whole situation. And that's why I was saying I feel like it's a two-way street. Right? Because sometimes women or the other parent, even if it's a mom or a dad, whatever, whoever's inconsistent, the other person that is more stable, they have the most strength to actually make this situation positive or negative, right? Yeah. Because they could easily be like, you know what? Like your dad or your mom, they kind of sick, they in the hospital, they'll be here time to time, or they could just do what normal people do. Like, yo, your dad ain't shit, man. He ain't coming. He got to stop doing that. Like, I've been telling them. Yeah, you told them. And I know this also affects the kid, but don't even put that on the kid. I always say, man, a kid gonna realize who was there and who wasn't. You ain't even got to tell him. You ain't got to tell him, never.
Ain't that the most craziest shit? Like,
you ain't got to tell him, man. Like, I told my homeboy, if his mom don't show up to the games, don't say nothing in the car, bro. Don't talk bad on her. Don't say none of that. He gonna realize that. Trust me, kids realize everything. They gonna grow up. They gonna just get to a point where they only see pops in the stand, or they only see moms in the stand. They gonna question that one day. And I'm like, yo, why pops ain't showing up? They gonna have that own feeling. They gonna have their own regretment. You ain't gotta put nothing on the kid, because when you put that on the kid, now you just making a situation, you automatically like predetermine their decision. You know what I mean?
That's the wicked shit about this whole thing, bro. Is that, like, if you really think about it, I mean, this might sound like it's off topic or whatever, but like, I guess it's kind of like a stem off of what we're talking about. But like, yo, if you really think about it, yo, we have no power to do anything. Like, I feel like a woman has to be like really down bad for like a man to like win some shit. I just have this weird like inkling about it.
To win what?
Just like, say, like, if it's custody rights, you know what I mean, like child support and all that other shit. Like, we don't really have that power. Like, I feel like we don't have that power like that.
Nah, niggas do. Just some niggas just not in good positions though. You got to be in a good position, yo. You got to be in a good position. And you got to be, to me, you got to be like a sole provider. You know what I mean? When I say that, like, you got to be the one that's the breadwinner, the dude that had the good job, the person that's, active always in a life, the dude that's always doing this. I feel like when you basically the best dad you can be, I feel like there's situations where men have won. I know men in my family that's won custody over their kids.
I've seen men in situations where they're the sole provider and they still get hit with child support.
Yeah, but are they the best dad? Are they the best parent? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen
Because that's
before. I've seen it, but I've seen some wicked situations play out, bro. That's why like when I think about it, like when you have like people, I tell people all the time, bro, you better be careful who you have kids with, because at the end of the day, you want to respect that person for the rest of your life.
no, you're right. You're right, but I want to get back onto the topic. Removing yourself fully. And yeah, I feel like
is that really considered removing yourself fully if you're trying to trying to better yourself quickly to get back?
Well, it could be two instances. That is removing yourself fully or just not showing up, right? So like when we first was talking about it from like a child standpoint, you were just like, yo, just don't show up. And to me, that's like that's just a deadbeat. That's a hands down as a deadbeat. Like you're not around. It's not.
I wouldn't call him. I wouldn't say a direct deadbeat.
What?
I wouldn't be.
Because the question is a non-existent father or inconsistent father, right? A non-consistent father, because the way you're putting it is the reason he's non-consistent is because he's working on himself. He's got an issue that he needs to work on. Okay, I understand that, but just from a total standpoint, in general, taking just a no father or inconsistent father, no father's a deadbeat. He's not showing up. He's not doing none of that. He's not inconsistent. He's not coming around. I feel like that's the worst. That's the worst.
I think there's a part of the equation that we really haven't hit. Like we grazed on it, but we haven't really like delved into it. And that's the conversation that needs to be had.
Conversation between who?
Between you and the other partner, ex-partner, whatever, the mother or father of your child. Like you got to have that conversation with the other person to see where their mind's at. Like, you know what I mean? Like if this is to see if that person will have that respect level for you to, like, you know what I mean? Like he's really out here trying, like, I'm coming to you broken right now. Like I'm trying to be there for our child. Like, you know what I mean?
But let me ask you this, because I'm gonna hit on what you're saying. Maybe they're not. Maybe they come to them and it's like, yo, I'm trying, but like, yo, if I can't make it, I can't make it. You telling that person, yo, just don't come then if you're gonna be inconsistent.
No, that's why I brought that up, is that you gotta have that conversation first. I'm not saying just go fucking disappear off the face of the earth. What I'm saying is if you had a conversation with, you know what I mean, you're the other party, like, listen, this is what's going on with me. I got habits that I don't want to that could possibly affect any more me and my child's relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be there. I just need to take time to fix myself. I don't see the issue. I'm not saying you disappear for a year or something like that, but I'm saying, like, if you can manage to get this shit around and, you know what I'm saying, like get quickly back onto your feet as fast as you can. I don't see what the problem is about that.
So let's take away the bad habit. Maybe you're just a nigga that's just inconsistent. You're saying still don't come around. You're saying just eliminate yourself if you're gonna be inconsistent.
I guess it.
Because I want to get to what point are you actually telling the person, yo, just eliminate yourself?
Well, that's because I'm both thinking it from both sides. So
What side?
I'm thinking in the beginning I was thinking from a child's side, but now I'm looking at it from a father's side. Like I said before, either you pissed to get off the pot.
Is that fair to the father though?
If he's a deadbeat, if you saying if he's not bringing anything to the table, then.
So hold on. So there's niggas out there that be giving people money, yo, and they don't be showing up. Is niggas a deadbeat?
That's the craziest shit to me, bro.
I know, but this is multiple situations, bro. Is niggas a deadbeat?
That's still not even showing up, bro.
No, but
finances is not just, oh, I'm dropping money off and that's it. Like that's mad wild, bro.
I'm answering your question because what you said was either piss or get off the pot if you're not bringing anything to the table, right? So one thing,
I'm talking about emotionally. I guess I need to clarify what I'm talking about. If you can't be like, there's no money in the world that can make up for your absence physically, emotionally. That's what I'm talking about, right?
no, we know that.
Exactly. So why even just in the situation you're saying? Why even just send money and then you don't show up? That shit just is mad backwards to me, bro.
So let me ask you this. There's niggas right now that live with their father all their life and they never connect with them emotionally, right? So what you say about them niggas?
That's still a presence. That's still a presence figure, though.
So now it's a present figure, but it's not
That's
emotional.
what I'm saying. I think you were looking at it from a financial, like bringing to the table. What I mean by bringing to the table, I mean your presence, whether you show your emotion or not show your emotion. You know what I'm saying? Being able to have a conversation with your child, being able to try to coach your child through life, whether it's through tough love or you know what I mean, or being emotional with them. Like that's what I'm talking about. Take that part, put that part in the box, right? Put the emotion, the physical touch, the presence, all that in a box. No, but listen, hold on. And not everyone's doing that. So that's what I'm saying is that if you can't be there physically in presence, then what value does money have to the situation? Not a damn thing, because you cannot, I don't care we can argue till I'm blue in the face. There's not a dollar amount in the world. There's not anything. There's not a gift in the world you can give a child that will override your presence and your time and your love in any situation.
Okay. But what I'm saying is there's niggas out there that are present, but they're just present.
At least so, that's the most important part though, is that that's still bringing something to the table, bro.
Just because, but you never, there's daughters out there and sons out there that say, yeah, like, my dad was there, but I never felt like he was there. Like we never connected. He was, niggas got dads that's alcoholics and they still be present. They still be in the house and not connect with them. So that's what I'm saying. There's niggas out there that's present.
At the end of the day, it's still a presence. What you said
before. How? Niggas is saying that they haven't connected with their parent.
What did you just say before?
Huh?
What did you just? They're gonna know who's there and who's not there. A lot of yo, you about to give me raise my voice, and I'm trying so hard to be cool with you right now.
No, just think about it.
What I'm saying is this, bro. I've been in that situation.
Correct.
As a child. No, let's just talk about me as a child, right?
Yeah.
I've been in that situation. I knew that there was no physical or emotional connection, but as a child, you don't really know.
Correct.
It's still my daddy's still here.
Correct.
Right? Okay. So take that to a child. What you're talking about is when a child, it seems like you're talking about when a child gets older, they fully understand what the hell was going on. And they're just like, oh, my dad's just an alky and he's just sleeping on the couch. We're not talking about that stage because you broke it in the beginning. If we rewind the episode, you said in the beginning from one about middle school, I didn't know personally, I didn't know what was going on from in that time frame. And that's what we're talking about. So
correct.
When my dad was present and he wasn't doing anything and we couldn't connect on that level, I still had my dad there. I still had my dad there physically, and whether I was, you're going to connect at some level.
So let me
whether it be just by sports, whether it be, that there's going to be some type of bond if he's I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Some niggas don't connect with their fathers, yo. Not just because a dad is present, my G, not everybody connects with them on emotional.
And that's another thing. You keep honing in on just this present thing. Like I didn't say just present. I said emotionally. I said physically, emotionally, and then being present. I put all those in a box. You keep talking.
Yeah, and you said some niggas don't do that, but you said that if their present is there, that's the most important thing.
You just taking the bits and pieces of what I'm saying, and you're honing in on one idea. Take the physical aspect. Take the aspect of just emotion, right? Which is your physical presence, your ability to feeling, right? Take that. That's cradle that motherfucker. Cradle that motherfucker. Take that and separate that from anything else you could possibly bring to the table. So what else could you bring to the table? Let's talk about that. Finances. So money.
Yes.
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 You know what I mean? Things of that nature. So it's really tied back to finances. What I'm saying is there's not a financial situation.
I know that part. I know that. I know that.
So my question is, why are you honing in on just being present? When I'm saying I'm using present as the umbrella for everything else that, like I said, the physical, the feeling, the emotional part, being able to share a laugh or two or connect over some stuff. If there's dads out there that don't connect with their children, that just is okay. That's fine. I get that, but don't.
How is that fine though?
No. I'm not, when I say that's fine, I understand. I'm talking about the situation you brought up. I get that. Like, yes, fucking deadbeat. I get that. Your dad sleeps all day on the couch. You walk in the crib, doesn't acknowledge you. I get that. What I'm saying is those dads that are there, whether they are living in the same house or they're co-parenting, and they're trying to be there emotionally, but they're inconsistent in whatever, like the other half. I think that's like they're inconsistent in the physical part, but they're bringing the money, like they're just sending money. You're not seeing them. They're, like you said before, they're doing this, and they're just behind the scenes.
Yeah,
there's nothing that you can do with the financial piece that
can change a kid's thing. Yes, I got that part.
So that's
what I'm saying. Can I say something? Can I say something now? What I'm saying is I understand that part. I know that money can't buy everything, right? But what you were saying, and we can run it back, is you were saying at least, and I'm going to say it all, you said at least there's a present there, right? And then you were like, and hold on, and then you were like, they have that present, they have that emotional connection and that physical connection, right? And you said if they have all those three, that's great. That's like in a box. That's like kind of what a perfect dad does. And I'm like, okay, cool. I understand that. But you were saying the presence that they are in the house is very important. But what I was also saying too is there's kids out there that have lived with their parents, a mother or dad, that is present, that doesn't have any emotional or physical connection, that is just there, but then they grow up and they don't, it doesn't matter to them.
That's what I'm telling, and that's what I just told you 2 seconds ago. I said that I said the word presence as a umbrella for everything else I listed underneath that. So when I say they're present, that means that they are present emotionally. They're present. They can connect with you at some level. You know what I mean? And they're trying to do their best outside of like the other stuff. If you keep
what's the difference? What's the difference between a person that, okay, say for example, there's a parent that doesn't do that, right? They're just present. What's the difference between a person that's present that doesn't connect with their child physically and emotionally, right? They're just present. They're just not a good parent, but they're there. They're just in the house. They're just, they're just there. And there's people out there. What's the difference between that and a person that is not always present and inconsistent, but has a little money here and there? What's the difference between that?
But see, you're saying you're taking it. So is this person who's not present, who has a financial piece, are they able to connect with their child on some level? Or are they?
Yeah, there's people out there. But I said money. You just took it to a whole nother level.
What you said was they had the financial piece and you don't really see them. They're just not there. So in my assumption was that you
correct. You just said what I just said. I said you took it to another level. Your assumption. I didn't say anything else, bro.
You said there's 10 minutes. If you would have clarified that up in front in the beginning. If you
never asked me. You just said money.
If you would have said, well, because you stopped talking, so what am I supposed to do? Did you think that
I had to let you talk?
because there's some dads that do, but that's what I'm saying. There's some situations, there's so many different situations that me and you weren't even on the same page. We're talking about two different things. I'm talking about a situation where there's dudes out there, parents out there that just send money who aren't never there at all. That's what I'm talking about.
I never said that though. My whole thing was a dad you can run it back. I'm glad that we're recording this, bro. My thing was a dad that he's inconsistent, right? But what he does is he still get money, because you were like, yo, someone that brings stuff to the table. So I thought that when you said bring stuff to the table, it was either emotional, financially, or physical. I just said, yo, he bring money to the table. And then you were like, yo, money isn't enough. He got to be either present, emotional, and this, that, and the third. And then that's when I got to saying, hey, yo, there's people out there that's presence, but they never really connect with their kid on an emotional level. So like, what's the difference between a dad or a mom just being in the house and just being there, and they not really emotional or connected to the kid, than a dad that's inconsistent, but he sent a little money here and there? Like, what's the difference?
There's a huge difference. There's one that is at least in with the inconsistent dad, we're saying that he's there. He's bringing when he's there, right?
Yeah.
He brings the finances. He brings the
fun, all that. Yeah. You know, niggas do that shit all the time. Like, yo, let's go to the store, this, that, and the third.
I get that. Yes, okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. What I was talking about is those dads that just send money, they don't see their child. That's what I was talking about. But if you want to talk about the situation you're talking right now, he's inconsistent. He brings money. He does.
Yeah, when he's there, he's there.
He's there. When he's there, he's there. Versus somebody who's in the house, who's like I said, sleeps on the couch all day, doesn't connect with their children, still brings a financial piece. They're a fucking deadbeat.
I get you. And once again, I was asking you, a nigga says
the difference. That's what you.
I'm trying to ask you, but my whole point is I'm trying to get to the point where you cancel a person out, right? Because you were like, yo, once I had that conversation with a person or a guy, and you're like, yo, if you can't be insistent, just bounce yourself if you're not bringing anything to the table. But if a guy is able to do that, right, but he's still inconsistent, he's like, yo, I had some shit to do. I'm not gonna come today. Like, my bad, like, tell Shane my apologies, this, that, and the third. But he's still, able to, like, yo, get niggas new shoes or new TV or this, that, and the third, take care of them financially. Is that better than not being around? Like, you just telling a nigga, like, yo, just because you get money and you inconsistent, like, I just don't want you around.
Like, then it goes back to what I was just saying earlier. I was just telling you, like, there's no benefit that can override that physical, the emotional, the of you actually being a father.
I understand that, but when
I think it's fucking wrong.
Yeah, but he is completing. I'm not saying this is right, but he is completing a part of being a father, financially supporting your kid.
I just think the inconsistency part is what throws me off, bro. That's the only thing that's throwing me off about the whole situation, bro. I don't.
And I know, and I'm not trying to change your mind, but you rather no father than an inconsistent nigga that's coming around supporting his kid financially when he can.
I mean, bro, I value. I guess it just comes down to this is all it's all of personal experience. Like, I rather
definitely, I can tell.
Yeah, I'd rather have that. I'd rather you be at least have a connection with me outside of money. Because there's some fathers out there that think money is just enough. Like, that's the connection.
Either niggas that's present and got emotional connection with niggas, they do the same shit. It's niggas. There's always gonna be.
See what I'm saying? There's yes, but like I said, it's the inconsistency part though that's kind of throwing. It's that shit's fucking with my mind right now, bro.
So and that's the part that's fucking with my mind is that a nigga that can be in the house does the same shit, goes to work every day, do some fuck shit, but he's still out there like, yo, that's my son. I'm gonna take care of him. I'm gonna buy this, that, and the third. But it's like, yo, dad, you don't need to show up to the games. Yo, my bad, son. Like I had to work, but he's still in the house every day. That shit is okay, but he's still kind of doing the same shit. He's not connecting with none of his kids, but he's supporting them financially, but he don't connect with them.
That shit is nowhere okay, bro. I can't stand that shit, bro. That shit. That's why I am the father that I am today. Like, granted, I'm not saying I'm the most perfect motherfucker out here to father my kids. At the end of the day, I know there's 3 things you can never tell me I don't do. You can't never say I don't love my children. You can never say I don't provide for them, and you can never say I don't try my damnedest to connect with them in their world of some type of love. Those are the 3 things you can never take away from me. But for a motherfucker to be in the crib and then just think that, I know you had a basketball game the other day, but here's some shoes, or like that shit. Like, you cannot connect with motherfuckers. You cannot connect with your children.
I guess that's the part that's not clicking with me that I don't understand, because it's like a nigga could be inconsistent, and when he does come around, yo, it's the best time ever, does support you, but it's like, yo, I gotta cancel you out. But a nigga could be in the crib and just because
okay,
huh?
It's just like a concert coming into town every so often.
Yeah, but
like, damn, when the next tour date? You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit's fucking. That's all fucking, bro.
But he's still able to connect with you though. He's still like, yo, I heard about the game and the third.
Okay, so now let's flip it. Let's talk about from a child standpoint, right? So we talk about the father, because we sat here and said that, like, you know what I mean, like how do some men do that, basically? And we went down a whole tangent about how we were trying to talk about situations, yada yada, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it from a kid standpoint. So if you're looking at it from a kid standpoint, and you get to that, you're pushing middle school. Let's say you're pushing middle school now. So like, quite frankly, anywhere from the time you were born till about 6 going into 7th grade really don't matter, because you focus on doing some other shit. Now you're starting to realize it. So now, say your pops pop up, got something for you. He's there. Oh, hey son, how's school going? How's sports? You know what I'm saying? You talking to the girls, da 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 da. Here's a little something for you. I was thinking about you the other day, da 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 da. Cool. Imagine how you get your hopes so high, right? How you would feel. Like, me personally, my hopes would be, I'd be ecstatic that this shit's gonna happen again very soon. You know what I mean? That not even just to get presents, but just to be able to see my father. And then all of a sudden, you looking out the window, like, or just thinking like, yo, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see him. Wouldn't you want to be like, you want, at some point you would start to think like, yo, like, just don't even come around at all if you're just gonna keep playing with me.
I can't speak on that. I don't.
You know what I mean? No, but I know you can't speak on it, but just think about how you would feel. Like, let's just talk hypothetically with me on this one. Like, how would you feel? Like, how would you think you would feel? Like, you pop up in the middle of summer, right before school start, got you a couple shoes, a couple pair of clothes, da da da, and then all of a sudden this motherfucker don't pop up till the beginning of January, not even fucking Thanksgiving. I mean, the beginning of November. He just don't even pop up on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Like,
the reason why, to be honest, I don't see anything wrong with this, because I grew up in that type of lifestyle, right? I got cousins, pops do that shit all the time. You know what I mean? I never saw niggas really affected by that shit. So to me, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I said for you, everything's kind of personal with this thing. But for me, like, I've seen niggas do that shit. I got cousins, little cousins, older cousins, seen that shit. And niggas is okay till right now. Like, yeah, I don't know if I asked them.
Are they?
That's what I'm saying. I don't, like I was just about to say, I don't know if they're okay, because I'm not asking them on a personal note, like, yo, you affected by that? Like, yo, 12 years ago,
I mean, I'm not saying that I was in that situation where my dad would pop up here and there, like just be random type shit. But what I will say is that for someone who felt like I was toyed with a little bit, you hold that shit in. Like you don't even like that's, and it comes back to what I was saying earlier. It's kind of like one of those piss get off the pot moments. Like you don't. I'm not chasing you down. It is what's going to be, and then you just move on with life. You know what I mean? Like you focus, huh?
Go ahead. Sorry, you focus on life.
Yeah, you just focus on life. You focus on other things you got going on, and trying to better yourself and figure out your life when you know what I mean. Like whatever the situation may be for you at that current time. Yeah, bro.
One thing I can say though is like a lot of my aunts, they never really spoke down on a nigga like that though. See,
good for them.
And that's
good for them.
You know what I mean? That's just something that I seen. Yeah, probably had other aunts that maybe did behind closed doors or this, that, and the third, but I never really seen niggas really talk. And that's why I said it's a two-way street. Because when you talk down on someone, even if it's your friend, not just in general, people are always going to have another perspective about another person now.
Perception is everything.
Because they're going on for you, right? Mm-hmm. But just because your experience with me is not the same experience that's going to be with Lauren over here, right? So that's why niggas got to do their own thing. That's why I said, yo, kids, they'll figure out, bro. They'll figure out for themselves. But
I think that's what women should
do. Hold on. Let me finish real quick. Just because I had an experience with Lauren, don't mean that's going to be the same experience that I had with you, right? If I'm actually that bad person, yo, you'll figure it out on your own. You be like, yo, you know what? That nigga Shane ain't right, man. You'll figure that shit out on your own because, yo, niggas' characters always come to light.
And that's the best situation. That's the situation, how the situation should be, bro. Like, I wish in a perfect world, if those women out there who just talk down on their father, on their child's father to their child, like trying to like get them to sway them to a certain direction, that shit is the worst thing you can do to a person, bro. That's just like mental abuse, bro. Because like your child's not making any decision for themselves to say, hey, my dad's a piece of shit. They're not making that call. You're making that call for them. Like that's ridiculous. And shouts out to those women out there who keep it separated. You know what I'm saying? They keep it rated G for your child. And you know what I mean? If you gotta step in out behind closed doors, if y'all have to step out in those means, y'all do it and y'all leave it at that and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? You let your child come up with their own perception, and then they'll come to you with a question if they have a question.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so.
And I don't, to be honest, I really don't see, to be honest, I don't really see an issue with them talking down on them, because the whole thing behind what we talk about is like, yo, why would a woman talk about the other, this other significant other if he's being a good dad? But in this case, he's not really being a good dad. Let me reverse back. The reason why I was saying I agree with it is because when we talk about it, we always talk about a woman talking down on her man because of the relationship they have, right? It don't got nothing to do with the kids, and then they put that on the kid. But in this situation, it's kind of the both. It's like, yo, bro, you ain't really good with me, and you ain't good with your son. You gotta get right. So I understand women doing that. But
yeah, you could talk down on a motherfucker. Just don't what I'm saying is don't talk down on about that person to your child. Because one, a lot of times they don't know what the hell's going on. And then you come out with some shit like, oh, and then they start trying to piecing shit together in their heads. And like, oh, well, he hasn't been around. You're right. And all that. Then they grow up and like, oh, my daddy ain't shit. I ain't never seen him. Like, that's so crazy to me. So at the end of the day, all in all, whether you do take something from this fucking conversation, because I enjoy talking to my co-host here. Every Thursday we lit. bro, just try your fucking best. You know what I mean? Like if you can't do everything all at once and you are down that inconsistent road, do not think financial means is going to take care of everything else that you need to be a father. Please don't. Try to be there. And you know what I'm saying? Keep going.
And for the fathers out there that's inconsistent, listen, man, just try to get consistent, man. I ain't gonna agree with y'all being totally out of nigga life because every child need a father, you know what I mean? Even if it's 10 hours of the day, 2 hours of the day, you know, to me, once in a blue moon, you know, all I can say is just try to be better. But I can't say don't, you know, just eliminate yourself, man, because I feel like y'all will hurt the kid and you will hurt yourself.
You hurt the kid either way.
Huh?
You hurt the kid either way.
I can't really speak on that. But all I can say is be consistent. You know what I mean? Try to be consistent. Work towards that. That's my take on it, man.
Well, glad we had this wonderful conversation on this wonderful Thursday night. Because it's interesting because it's two different it's two different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody it seems like we come from similar backgrounds but totally different. So for fathers who have that mold and who've grown up in that environment and they choose to be born fathers, you know what I'm saying? For those who've had those moments where they see their dad, when I say regularly, like they just not popping up here, popping up there unannounced and shit like that, that's cool too. Those motherfuckers out there that's just popping up once in a blue moon, get y'all shit together, bro. Flat out. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. Diaper Dad family. We will see you guys next week.
We out.
Out.